Hello fanatics, welcome to Diamond Painting Fanatics. I am Cindy and here we are. It is Thursday and you know what that means. True crime episode. If you are new here, hello. I talk about a true crime while doing my diamond painting. And I have been roped back in. I have been asked to do more of them, which is amazing and I am loving it. I was looking into a new episode and I suddenly thought, I haven't put a disclaimer on my video, so please, viewer discretion is advised, because some of the people that we talk about are very sick individuals that do atrocious acts of violence and murder and rape and vile human beings. 9 times out of 10 they get their comeuppance, they get sent to jail. Sometimes they don't. So the next story that I looked into, I suddenly thought I need to update my introduction to my videos, and you get to see me again, so it's not all bad. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd be so kind, if you do enjoy my YouTube channel, my true crime, my spiritual sofa, my unboxings, anything, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you on my journey with me. Thank you so much for joining me on my true crime journey. I'm loving it and I hope you guys are too. Can I just quickly say, because we talk about a wide range of subject areas, I personally myself have been abused for many years. If I trigger anything, please don't sit on your own. Please seek help. Reach out to me, chat to me, reach out to a friend or medical professional people. Therapy works wonders, promise. With that said, let's move on to another depraved individual and find out what they've done this week. Who's it going to be? Stay tuned to find out. Stay safe out there. Today we're going to be talking about a case that involves the death of a child. I know this isn't for everyone, and I completely understand. If you want to skip it, please do so. At your own discretion. Diane Downs was born in Phoenix, Arizona on August the 7th, 1955 to Wesley and Willardine. She has testified that her father sexually abused her when she was 12 years old. Diane graduated from Moon Valley High School in Phoenix, where she met her husband, Steve Downs. After high school, she enrolled at Pacific Coast Baptist Bible College, say that 5 times fast, in Orange, California. She was expelled after 1 year for promiscuous behaviour. I was going to make a comment about, there's a word for that, but that's actually a nicer way of putting it. And soon returned to her parents' home in Arizona. On November the 13th, 1973, she's now 18, Diane married Steve after running away from home. Their first child, Christy Ann, was born in 1974. Cheryl Lynn followed in 1976, with Stephen Daniel being born in 1976. 1979. The couple divorced in 1980 because Steve thought that Stephen Daniel, who was known as Danny, was the result of an affair that Diane had. On the 8th of May 1982, Diane gave birth to a daughter through surrogacy. She named the child Jennifer before turning her over to her intended parents. Prior to her arrest, Diane was employed by the United States Postal Service, assigned to the mail routes in the city of Cottage Grove in Oregon. Cheryl Lynn, shortly before her death, reportedly told a neighbour of her grandparents that she was afraid of her mother. On the 19th of May in 1983, Diane shot her 3 children and drove them in a blood-splattered car to Mackenzie Willamette Hospital. Upon arrival, Cheryl, aged 7, was already dead. Danny, aged 3, was paralysed from the waist down, and Christy, aged 8, had suffered a disabling stroke. Diane herself had been shot in the left forearm. She claimed she was carjacked on a rural road near Springfield by a strange man who shot her and the children. However, investigators and hospital workers became suspicious because they decided her manner was too calm for a person who had experienced such a traumatic event. She also made a number of statements that both police and hospital workers considered highly inappropriate. Suspicions heightened when Diane, upon arrival at the hospital to visit her children, phoned Robert Knickerbocker, a married man and former co-worker in Arizona with whom she'd been having an extramarital affair. The forensic evidence did not match her story. There was no blood splatter on the driver's side of the car, nor was there any gunpowder residue on the driver's door or the interior door panel. Robert, who she called, also reported to police that Diane had stalked him, seemed willing to kill his wife if it meant that she could have him to herself. He stated that he was relieved that she had left Oregon and that he was able to reconcile with his wife. Diane did not disclose to police that she owned a .22 caliber handgun, but both Steve, her ex-husband, and Robert, the guy she had an affair with, informed them that she did. Investigators later discovered Diane bought the handgun in Arizona. While they were unable to find the actual weapon, they found unfired casings in her home with extractor markings from the murder weapon. Most damaging, witnesses saw the car being driven very slowly towards the hospital at an estimated speed of 5 to 7 miles per hour, contradicting her claim that she drove to the hospital at high speed after the shooting. Based on this and additional evidence, Diane was arrested on the 28th of February 1984, 9 months after the shooting, and charged with 1 count of murder and 2 counts each of attempted murder and criminal assault. Prosecutors argued that Diane shot her children to be free of them, so she could continue her affair with Richard, as she claimed that he let it be known that he didn't want children in his life. Much of the case against her rested on the testimony of her surviving daughter Christy, who, once she recovered her ability to speak, described how her mother shot all 3 children while parked at the side of the road and then shot herself in the arm. I mean, how horrific. Your own child is watching that happen. Diane was convicted on all charges on the 17th of June 1984 and sentenced to life in prison. I'm actually welling up. I'm plus 50 years. She was required to serve 25 years before being considered for parole. Psychiatrists diagnosed her with narcissistic, histrionic, and antisocial personality disorders. Most of her sentence is to be served consecutively. The judge made it clear that he did not intend for Diane to ever be free again. Diane's 2 surviving children eventually went to live with the lead prosecutor on the case. He and his wife Joanne adopted them in 1986. Prior to her arrest, Diane became pregnant with a 4th child and gave birth to a girl whom she named Amy Elizabeth, a month after her 1984 trial. 10 days before Diane's sentencing, Amy was seized by the state of Oregon and adopted by Chris and Jackie Babcock, who named her Rebecca. As an adult, Rebecca appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show and ABC's 2020, discussing how she feels about her biological mother. She wrote to Diane in her younger years and has stated that she regrets it, regarding her mother as, quote, a monster. Diane was incarcerated at the Oregon Women's Correctional Center in Salem. She escaped from her cell in Oregon on July the 11th, 1987, by scaling an 18-foot razor wire fence. For 10 days, Diane managed to escape despite a 14-state manhunt before she was recaptured. She received an additional 5-year sentence for the escape. After her recapture, Diane was transferred to the New Jersey Department of Corrections Clinton Correctional Facility for Women. Say that 5 times fast. After heavy lobbying from the lead prosecutor who adopted the other 2 children. The Salem prison was located 66 miles from his home in Springfield. During her 10 days of freedom, Fred, the guy who adopted the children, Fred had feared that Diane would attempt to travel there in the hopes of contacting Christy and Danny. Despite significant security upgrades at the women's facility after the escape, state officials accepted Fred's argument that the risk of harm to Christy and Danny in the event of another escape was too great for Diane to remain incarcerated in Oregon. In 1994, after serving 10 years, Diane was transferred to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. While in prison, she earned an associate degree in general studies. In 2010, she was located in the Valley State Prison for Women in California, but transferred out when the facility was converted to an all-male institution in 2013. Author Anne Rule wrote the book Small Sacrifices in 1987, detailing Diane's life and murder trial. The book documents accounts by friends, acquaintances, neighbours, and her surviving daughter Christy, who question the quality of her parenting. A made-for-TV movie, also titled Small Sacrifices, starred Farrah Fawcett as Diane and aired on ABC in 1989. Diane's sentence meant she could not be considered for parole until 2009. Under Oregon law at the time, as a dangerous offender, Diane would have been eligible for a parole hearing every 2 years until she's released or dies in prison. In her first application for parole in 2008, Diane reaffirmed her innocence. Seriously? Over the years, she said, I have told you and the rest of the world that a man shot me and my children. I have never changed my story. Facts don't lie though, do they? Her first parole hearing was December the 9th, 2008. Lane County District Attorney Douglas wrote to the parole board, quote, Diane continues to fail to demonstrate any honest insight into her criminal behaviour. Even after her convictions, she continues to fabricate new versions of events under which the crimes occurred. He also wrote, quote, she alternatively refers to her assailants as a bushy-haired stranger, 2 men wearing ski masks or drug dealers and corrupt law enforcement officials, end quote. Diane participated in the hearing from the Valley State Prison for Women. She was not permitted a statement, but answered questions from the parole board. After 3 hours of interviews and 30 minutes of deliberation, she was denied. Diane faced her second parole hearing on December the 10th, 2010, and was denied. Her next parole hearing is scheduled for 2021. She will be denied. Not only is she a risk now to her other 2 children, she can't fess up to what she did. She is a despicable person. And I have no words. You know? So there you go. That is the despicable, atrocious acts of Diane Downs, who just wanted a fresh life and chose to take out her kids instead of, I don't know, giving them to the dad or putting them up for adoption. You have so many options, and okay, I might be talking in the 80s, but obviously there's still options out there. Or suck it up and find a decent guy that will treat you right. What did you think to this episode? Please leave your comments down below. I love to hear from you, and yeah, thank you for joining me. It is a short one, so I might give you a treat and pop it up as a bonus episode midweek. I will see you on Thursday. I hope you've enjoyed working on your project with me, and thank you for keeping me company, and I shall see you very soon. Love, hugs and sparkles to you all. Stay safe out there. Bye.